5, I'm calling the Board of Trustees October 21st, 2020, board meeting to order. The board is meeting in person at the Village Hall, and the public may also observe the meeting live stream on the Village of North Hills YouTube channel. This is my opening statement. In accordance with the current executive orders of the governor, the Board of Trustees is permitted to meet in person and to permit public attendance at the meeting, subject to limitations. The Board of Trustees is holding this meeting in person, and the public is permitted to attend. As an accommodation to those members of the public who have health and safety concerns related to COVID-19, the public also may hear the meeting on the Village of North Hills YouTube channel. The link to the YouTube channel can be found on the homepage of the Village website, which is www.villagenorthhills.com. In accordance with the Open Meetings Law, the public has the right to be heard on agenda items, which are public hearings. On all other matters, the public does not have the right to comment on agenda items unless authorized by the rules of the board. Interested members of the public who wish to provide comments on an agenda item or public hearings may do so in person or through the written chat section on the Village YouTube channel. Comments may also be provided via email during the meeting to the Village Administrator at villagenorthhills.com. The clerk will now call the roll for attendance at this meeting by members of the board and relevant village staff.
Mayor Natus,
Present.
Deputy Mayor Scambati,
Present.
Trustee Arnold,
Present.
Trustee Lentini, present. Trustee Cohen, present. Superintendent Chinquarani,
Present.
Village Attorney Levin,
Present.
and Village Administrator Carroll is present.
Okay, a quorum of the board is in attendance, and we can begin the business of this meeting. The next item on the agenda would be the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm going to ask the Board of Trustees to please rise as Mary Ellen Carroll leads us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Place your right hand over your heart. The pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next meeting of the Board of Trustees is November 18th at 7:30. The place or access location will be announced on the village website. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes that were circulated of the September 16, 2020 board meeting? Anyone? I'll entertain a motion then that we approve the minutes as circulated. Trustee Cohen made the motion. Is there a second? Trustee Arnold, second. All in favor? Aye. Aye, unanimous. The next item on the agenda, we had scheduled 2 public hearings, both of which are going to be adjourned pursuant to the resolution submitted and circulated by the village attorney. One is the motion to adjourn to November 18th, case 20-01RB, which is the application of RXR North Hills Phase 1 owners. And the second is a motion to adjourn to November 18th, 2020, case number 18-01BT, which is a continued application of the Buckley Country Day School. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn those 2 public hearings. Trustee Arnold makes the motion. Second. Deputy Mayor Scambati seconds. All in favor? Aye. Aye. Public hearings are unanimously adjourned. Item number 4, item number 6, finance and operations. The treasury report, please, Mary Carroll.
Yes. Checking account, $7,430,110.12. Repair reserve, $727,017.16. Park and recreation, $1,015,386.38. Capital reserve, village hall, $257,521.74. Special escrow account, $88,728.07. Community amenities, $37,133,771.79.
Are there any questions in connection with the treasurer's report? And I'll entertain a motion that we read the treasurer's report as read.
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Lentini makes the motion. Trustee Gale Collins seconds the motion. All in favor? Aye. Aye. It's unanimous. The next item, 6B, payment of claims, general fund warrant 10/20. Any questions? If there are no questions, then I'll entertain a motion to approve the payment. So moved. Deputy Mayor Scambati made the motion. Trustee Cohen second. All in favor? Aye. Aye. Unanimous. Next item before discussion, item 7 is the shuttle service that we had temporarily discontinued because of the COVID-19. Deputy Mayor and I had a meeting with the vendor recently. We requested the village administrator to prepare an analysis of shuttle ridership, and she has, and it's dated today, October 21st, and basically it's a survey because we indicated that we did have some requests from village residents as to when we were going to resume the shuttle service, and when Deputy Mayor and I met with the vendor, we indicated that we would not, if we started the shuttle service, we would not do so on a full-time basis. It would probably be on a limited basis to start, and the residents would have to make a reservation so that we would know who's going and when and what time. Mary Ann, do you want to just give us a summary of your summary?
Yes. So there is a lot of data here. If you look on the first page, where I talk about, it starts with 2019 average riders. So what I did is I was able to do an analysis of everybody who rode the shuttle through all of 2019. And you can see there are the times they left in the morning and the average riders per day. Next to that is the shuttle survey. I sent the shuttle survey out to the 250 people on the shuttle rider list. I only asked people who were planning to commute to respond, starting in December, to respond to the survey, so it was hopefully a little bit better sample. You can see what the response of the shuttle survey, which is pretty much in line with what happened during 2019, except when it goes to the 9 a.m. shuttle. I think there are a lot of people who like to take that shuttle, when they do doctor's appointments and things. So I think that number is a little skewed. I would say all the other numbers of the shuttle survey are pretty much on point. I also, in the last column, I left you, what time the actual train leaves from Manhasset and what time it arrives into Penn Station. Same thing, if you go down, you can see for the PM shuttle, exactly what the 2019 average was, the 12 months. Then you can see what happened in the shuttle survey, and then again, the timing, the times that the train comes in, and how frequently the train, for time it leaves Penn Station, and what time it arrives at Manhasset. I did obviously below you can see the morning shuttle reservation. 66 people said that they thought that that would be feasible to do, and 25 people said they didn't think that would be feasible. Again, in the evening shuttle, it's a little less people, because obviously people go to work a certain time every day for the most part, but when they come home, there are other factors, project comes up, something like that. If you turn to the next page, it's basically just showing you the results, what's showing in this chart. This is just the data that backs it up. So you see you have the same thing in the top left, talking about the AM shuttle, and a nice little pie chart to kind of see what percentage of people take the AM shuttle, and then the PM shuttle. And then just behind that is the spreadsheet which supports that data. And then there's a result of the shuttle rider survey where we had the 91 responses. And again, it just shows you the pie chart of how all the results came in. An Excel spreadsheet also indicating those results. Just so you see the backup for the data that's there.
Thank you. When the deputy mayor and I met with the vendor, we indicated that we would recommence the shuttle service on a limited basis. And they also indicated that they would be operating at 50% capacity for the safety of our passengers. So if the shuttle holds 28 passengers normally, they would be taking on only 14. Everything would be sanitized after each trip or before the next group, and everyone would be required to wear masks on the shuttle. On a limited basis, we think that if we started it maybe with 2 or 3 trips in the morning instead of what we used to do, and we would fit the people in, and they also agreed that if they had to run 2, for example, if there were 16 or 18 people who wanted to leave at 8 on the 8 a.m. shuttle, they would run 2 shuttles so that there would be only 10 or 14 on each. And then we run them back to back or keep them back to back. So I think that there's an indication, and I've had several requests from village residents as to when you're driving into the city and the traffic is becoming heavier. And so when will we start the shuttle? I think they said that they could start it around December 15th, or did they say January 1st?
I think initially you had said December 1st, but that's what they would think, or it would be November 30th, but I don't think you came up with the date. I think there was
finalized.
There was nothing finalized with that, nothing
Because they
finalized.
also, right now, those shuttles are not, they cancel the insurance in order to save money on the shuttles that we use. Rightfully so, they are losing a lot of money, obviously, by not running the shuttle. And the deputy mayor and I indicated to them that we would like to start it. We would discuss it at this month's board of trustees meeting and get back to them with a start date. Now, if we anticipate December 1, because they said November, I remember them saying to me that November 15th is a little too soon for them to get everything, all the ducks in a row. So I would think that if we target for December 1 or no later than December 15, we could work all of that out. And the question from this board is, do you want to start with 2 or 3, maximum of 3, knowing that they're going to be backup? The concept was that instead of just running them with 3 or 4 people on a shuttle, if they want to go into the city, we would say, hey, we're running it. Let's take 2 particular hours, popular hours. We're going to run one at 7:30 and one at 8:30. And they would, if they wanted to get into the city early, they would take the 7:30 shuttle. If they wanted to get into the city a little later, they would take the 8:30 shuttle. So we thought maybe it would work out if we ran 2 in the morning And knowing that if the 8:30 shuttle had more than 14 people, they would have 2 shuttles that at 8:30 to take those people to the station. It's open for board discussion, and if any of you have any other ideas, please let us know.
Not too many people may use it anyway.
Well, that's based on the survey, that's what it appears. Not everybody is going back to work. Some people said they're waiting until January. Some people apparently told our village administrator that they're waiting for a vaccine. Everybody thinks differently. Some people are anxious to go back immediately, but we're not going to start immediately. But how do you feel about, say, running 2 or 3 shuttles in the morning, and then 3 coming back or 4 coming back? Any opinions?
So just to put, I just wanted to say, we were running 16 trips, morning and afternoon.
Right.
So if you ran 3 in the morning and 4 in the afternoon, that would be 7 trips. You know, so just to,
That's exactly what we were thinking. So, does the board have any other opinion other than what the deputy mayor and I came up with the vendor, 3 in the morning and 4 in the evening? Anybody?
engagement, you know, looking at the survey.
And at the inception, Nick Falco agreed that he would stay here in person in the morning to make sure that anyone who came on had to come on with a mask to make sure that everybody was, that there would not be more than 14 on a particular shuttle. Because the capacity is 28, so we're figuring at 50% capacity.
Mayor, according to Mary Ann's survey, on the morning shuttle, 6:35, 7 o'clock, 7:25, 7:55, 8:30, 9 o'clock. It's evident that the first 3, the 6:35, the 7, and the 7:25, can't that be combined into one shuttle run, or actually, as you mentioned, 2 shuttles to go to Manhasset train station? 2 shuttles, and that would take 12, 13, and 17 people.
That's what the intention is. We're gonna cut it down to 3 trips in the morning.
No, not 3, 2. No,
You
you
do
have,
7 and 8.
no, you have to do the, no, you have to do the 7:25. You have to do the 7:25. Let the residents know that the 6:35, the 7 o'clock, 6:35 is 12. 7 o'clock is 13. 7:25 is 17. So those people there, if they like, they can catch the 7:25. Then the second shuttle, which will consist of 2 buses, will be the 7:55, the 8:30. 7:55 is 22. That's the most of the people that are going into the city. The 8:30 is 4 people, and the 9 o'clock is 22. So combine those 3 times into one shuttle at 8:30.
But to just, that's one of the reasons why I did this. I just wanted you to look at the train departure and the train arrival. The reason the 7:55 shuttle was probably the most popular is that shuttle arrives into Manhattan at 8:42. And most people still do work many people still work a 9 to 5 workday. So if you're getting it at 8:42, that was really, you know, kind of the shuttle that most people took based on that.
But now, with us trying to figure out what the best times are, we have the ability of telling the residents, we want to reactivate the shuttle, we want to take it to Manhasset train station. But, you know, there's got to be a little bit of give and take. As you mentioned this morning to me, the people have asked Mary Ann, they want the village to pay half the parking in the Manhasset train station. They said, why can't the village pay for half of the $10 parking fee? Maybe Mary Ann should explain.
No, so as you know, the Manhasset Park District called the village and said that non-residents are permitted to park in the Manhasset train station. It's $10 a day, which is, that's expensive. So one person happened to call that, and I relayed that one person called, and happened to mention that. And I just kind of passed that on to you. That's not, I've gotten many calls about the shuttle. I have gotten several calls about the
Shuttle
shuttle.
is more important, and once we start the shuttle, they don't have to worry about parking in Manhasset. So is it your suggestion that instead of doing 3 trips in the morning, that we do only 2?
Well, if you do it, remember, it's not trips, it's shuttles. We're gonna have 2 shuttles working at the same time. They're gonna pick up, by the way,
So it's 4 trips, really, it's 2 shuttles working,
capacity.
2 shuttles working, let's say at 7:25, and 2 more shuttles working at 8:30.
Yeah,
For example.
the shuttle, the capacity is 24, not 28.
They have one shuttle has 24 and one shuttle holds 20.
Oh,
Okay.
no,
One one's at
no,
28.
no.
I have to
He
clarify
said,
that.
he said that,
He told us that the new shuttles hold 28. That's what he told us. And we'll double check that, okay? I have total recall. Believe me, I heard him say 28. But if it's 24, so it's 12 and 12. What difference does it make? We'll run, what the deputy mayor is saying is the 2 most popular hours, we'll run 2 each time.
Correct.
Which is 4 trips.
correct.
It's basically, we're paying for 4 trips, even though it's happening on 2 occasions. Is that what you're explaining?
That's correct. And at night, let's talk to everybody on the board of what times they think that we should get the people back from Manhasset train station back to their cars at the village hall.
Well, we're gonna cut it back there also. So if, let's say, 540 can handle 15 people, and then the next one would be, let's say, 640. We're cutting it down. They'll have to make it their business, just like they catch a train. Our concept is that they'll have to make it their business to catch a shuttle just the way they catch a train.
Mayor, I really don't think that the 8 o'clock shuttle and the 7:30 shuttle is only one. Mariella Vacaro's shuttle survey shows that we only have 1 person coming back at 8 o'clock at night. So we have to exclude that from the,
Of course.
yeah, and 7:30, we have to exclude the 3 people that are coming back.
Of course.
Those people here, they have to understand that they have to catch an earlier shuttle to get back to
Correct, that's what I just said. They're gonna have to,
Yeah.
if we run 2, they're gonna have to catch those shuttles.
Correct.
I'm not gonna worry about the 3 that come back at 8 o'clock. That's exactly the plan. And again, if we have to run a double shuttle because 10 people, there's 10 on each because 20 people wanna go back at a certain time, we'll work that out. But we're cutting it, but at least we're restarting the shuttle, and we're cutting down our costs at the same time until it's back to full time. Okay, so what,
I didn't get what you were doing.
is everybody in agreement that we're gonna restart the
We didn't
shuttle?
line out the,
Can
we didn't line out the shuttle from at night from Manhasset train station back to the village hall.
We're gonna do the same thing in the evening as we do in the morning. They'll have to make a train to catch that shuttle. And we're gonna tie it into when the train arrives. And if we have to do 3 trips, we'll do 3.
I think that it's not gonna be 2, it's gonna be 3.
That's fine.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
So what were the times in the morning that you were,
You have to work that out with the vendor. We'll set the times,
so you want 2 times in the morning?
2 times in the morning, two shuttles each, that's 4 trips. And 3 times in the evening, 2 shuttles each if we need them. So it could be as many as 6, as little as 4.
Well, Mayor, we will need them because the first 2 is 33. And is that 12 or, no, that's 23. So we're gonna need 1 shuttle for that.
I'm sorry, Deputy, I don't know where you, I'm just trying to
Shuttle
follow you.
survey for the evening.
Oh, the evening, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I would also caution you too, that I think that, you know, look at try to look at both numbers together. Because I think that the average over the course of the year is probably, as a data set, is probably a much more accurate number than the shuttle survey. So I'm trying to look at them sort of together. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
So looking, you know, I would say just,
We'll work out the detail, but let's prepare the vendor, tell them that the board approved, well, we'll vote on it now. I'll entertain a motion that will commence the show. Yeah.
You're gonna have to have an amendment to the shuttle agreement, and that's what you're voting on.
Okay, the shuttle agreement, when we recommence the shuttle service, it'll be pursuant to an amendment to the, well, let me ask you this, Tom. If we amend the they're willing to do this as long as we get started, but let's say we amend it, will we have to re-amend it when we go back to full-time?
That depends how we write the amendment. That's something I have to talk to you about, because this is all new to me.
Well, the survey,
You can't pay them any way other than your current contract unless you have an amendment contract.
well, right now, we haven't been paying them because it was suspended. So they're anxious to get started again, so we'll have to amend the contract.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when you start up, obviously they're gonna want to get paid for the service.
Right,
You can't get paid unless you have a contract with them.
right. So we'll have to amend the contract to what we decide we're gonna start with. If we start 3 or 4, let's say we start 2 in the morning at 2 particular times, we'll have to provide that to you once we work out the detail. And we'll know that before the next meeting, because we'll work with the vendor again, based on the survey. And then there'll be 3 trips at night. And if they have to send 2 shuttles in the morning for each round, that'll be, we'll pay them for 4. And if they have to do 6 at night, we'll pay them. If there are 3 trips at night, two buses at a time, we'll pay them for the 6. And that's the way it'll be amended. So once we have the information and finalize it, we'll provide it to you so you can amend the existing shuttle agreement.
But the suggestion would be, why don't you focus on the terms of which you will do the shuttle, and let you worry about the contract language.
Obviously, you're going to worry about it. That's what I just said. I said, once we decide that we're going to do 2 in the morning with 2 buses, that's 4 trips. And if we do 3 at night with 2 buses, that's 6 trips. Once we have that detail, we'll submit it to you, and you can amend the contract. That's what I just said.
Okay, but I would tell you right now that that's not the way I would propose to amend the contract language. Because I think you have to provide for some flexibility in the contract. They're also concerned about provisions that are going to require them to comply with the guidance.
Right.
In numbers of flexible and what is going to happen in the event that some reason the situation is worse and when you go into effect, it could reduce the committee's capacity when you're going to do that.
Well,
We just talked, if you look at the numbers, Tom, this had nothing to do with what you just were discussing with the mayor, but if you look at the numbers, the shuttle survey, Marion has 20, the first shuttle was at 4:55, leaving Manassas train station, coming back to the village. That's 12 people. And the next one is 11 people. We can put 24 people, or as you mentioned, 28 people on the shuttle. So that's one shuttle bus times 1.
no, you can't have 20, you can only have 50 second.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so it's by 2. Okay, fine. Thank you. And then the second one would be 13 and 10. That would be times 2, and then 19 and 9 times 2.
Says we have to work, that's what we're going to
Okay.
work on, and then we'll
No,
get the
that's
information
resolved.
to Tom, and you and I and Mary will work on it with Valpo. Then once we have it, we give.
No,
the
it's
information.
already resolved, as far as the number of shuttles.
Right,
Yeah, we're gonna have 2 buses each time that they leave Manhasset train
correct.
station. Or leave the village
Correct.
road.
When I was up to you, that's based on a 50% committed capacity.
Correct.
So if the regulation is changing, the capacity becomes a third or a quarter.
Then we'll have to make, right, your contract will have to provide for, that kind of flexibility in the event, there are executive orders which modify the capacity. So,
Thank you.
Very difficult for them.
right, that's why you're a lawyer. It's hard for lay people, but, you know, you're a professional, you can write it. It's, we'll work it out. Yeah, we'll work it out, don't worry. Anyway, so I think that everybody's in agreement that we're gonna resume the shuttle service and that, once we work out the details, Mr. Levin will amend the contract. I will inform John and that the contract has to be amended pursuant to, the advice of the council. Okay. Any unfinished business?
The only unfinished business is that, both myself and Marion Lopataro, we went on the hazard mitigation committee program. We set, I sat through it, Marion was intimately coming back and forth. And the only thing that's left on that is that Marion is going to give a public comment that's due by October 31st regarding the hazard mitigation committee for Nassau County.
Our plan is up on there's a link on the website. There's a link on the website and then.
That's Tom's fault, I guess.
there's-
All right.
There's a link on the website to our section of the plan and the Nassau County hazard mitigation plan. So the public comment period is open and the hazard mitigation plan is on the website. Once it comes down from the website, if we get any public comment, then the board will, get the link and then the village will have to, if they so choose, adopt the hazard mitigation.
And a continuation of that, Marion was nice enough that she's going to give the public comment for to the committee.
Okay. That takes care of unfinished business. Any new business? If there's no new business, I'm gonna make a motion that we go into executive session for legal advice.
I second the motion.
Bob, you with us? All in favor?
Aye.
the executive session, twofold. One is to discuss issues regarding the release of
Wait a second, I'll take, hold on.
memorandum of
Wait.
and
Okay, Rebecca.
It looks like it's not here yet. Okay.
Are we ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the motion was made to go back into public session. It was approved unanimously. Welcome everyone back to public session. Any other business? Any new business, any unfinished business? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Trustee Cohen makes the motion to adjourn. It's 8:40, and Trustee Arnold seconded the motion. All in favor?
I had one, I'm sorry, I had one thing under new business, is that Peter and his test?
That was really under an announcement.
Sorry.
I should have announced that officially Peter Chico, this is under good and welfare. There is something before we adjourn. Mr. Chipomani, our building superintendent, has passed all of his exams with flying colors. He's fully certified. And,
So now he's officially a building inspector?
as soon as he gets his certificate, well, we know he's getting the certificate. Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's it.
Oh, sorry.
I'm very proud of him. He passed with flying colors.
Aye.
Now I'll entertain the motion to adjourn. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Lemon. Good night. Stay well.